Hey everyone, welcome back to RJK English. This section again is Rantings and Ravings. It's where I talk about current issues, business, culture, etc., so that we can have discussions and really help you to learn in English so that you learn English. Relevance equals memory and knowledge. Relevance means it matters to you. It matters to you. If something matters to you, you remember it. So today we're going to talk about blockchain. I am not an expert in this, but I have worked with my friend in order to try to set this up for a company that I was working for. So I have some knowledge of it. Also in my MBA program, we talked about this. But hopefully, and you should ask for this, we can get Geese to do an interview with me so that he can discuss really how blockchain works. He's a great guy. I also am working with someone from Hangzhou who is also working on blockchain, and maybe sometime he will talk about this. So, what is blockchain? The first thing we think of is Bitcoin. Bitcoin uses blockchain technology, and I believe they were the first to use blockchain technology, but blockchain isn't Bitcoin. If blockchain is this, Bitcoin is this. Oh, I'm sorry. Bitcoin is part of blockchain, but not all blockchain is Bitcoin. So, why do we know about Bitcoin? Because it's sold. The price is going up. Why is Bitcoin interesting? Because it challenges our idea of what money is. What is money? Money is value that is agreed upon by many people. So let's start with this idea now. So in my city of Baltimore, we had B notes. These were dollars that were made only for Baltimore. They weren't made by the city, they were made by the community. This is how it works. I would get 11 B notes for $10. I could use them at any store that would take the B notes. Why would they take the B notes? Because they could then use those B notes to buy their supplies from local people that accepted B notes for their supplies. So, if I use a B note with this coffee shop, okay, here's the coffee that I'm drinking. If I use a B note for this coffee, why would they accept my B note? Because they can get their coffee from, in my city, it's Zeke's coffee. Zeke's coffee would accept the B notes. And then Zeke could get his supplies somehow using B notes from other people. What does this do? This keeps the wealth within the community. It's not going out elsewhere. So the point was to keep money within the community. Well, in the same way, Bitcoin has an ideal. The ideal is to separate using money from nations, to do things without being overseen by countries. Now, what is every country going to say about it right away? Oh, it's so that criminals can do criminal activity. But that's not always how, what we call this, not the B note, that was just an example of money, but what we call the Bitcoin, it's a cryptocurrency. Now, how does cryptocurrency and blockchain fit? First, cryptocurrency holds the ledger. It's a floating ledger or a virtual ledger. I'm going to call it a floating ledger. This means that on the Bitcoin itself, digitally, is a ledger, like you would keep an accounting ledger. That ledger is on the Bitcoin and can never be taken off of it. It can never be tampered with. You know exactly where that Bitcoin has been. Maybe you don't know the exact person because there's anonymity, but you see where the Bitcoin has gone. So you know that it is authentic. Okay, in the same way, so how does cryptocurrency allows people to have that authentication of money without using banks. So it separates them from banks. So blockchain itself uses cryptocurrency, but it's not cryptocurrency. So blockchain, let's say that we're shipping something somewhere. Okay, you have a package and you're going to ship it. You can put this on blockchain. So when it gets to the shipping port, that's logged on that ledger. When it gets to the ship, when it gets to the port, this is water, port, it's logged on that ledger. When it arrives at your place, it's logged on that ledger. The whole thing that has happened on it is logged on a ledger. At no point did you have to spend money for a shipping company to do something in regards to tracking, because you are tracking it yourself for basically no cost. It helps you to follow the exact chain of what happened without having to rely on a government entity. So this is very powerful. And once it gets on that ledger, it can't be changed. So how does this fit into the cryptocurrency itself? Well, how do things get on this ledger? They have to be validated. How do they get validated? By currency mining. You've heard of Bitcoin mining? What that means is there's a bunch of computers, right? And they validate this transaction right here that it got on the ship or whatever. They validate it. When they validate it, they get a coin for it. The coin, let's say this is called Shipium. This blockchain is called Shipium. The coin would be called Shippy. And they would get a Shippy coin for validating this transaction. So you need the coin in order to pay people to validate. Once they validate, it's on the ledger. Once it's on the ledger, it can never be changed. It's validated by other people. And therefore, at the end, when someone reads that ledger, they can really trust it because other people have validated this, not just the company itself. So the coin is actually part of the blockchain process. But outside of the blockchain process, people can still sell the coins. Like Ethereum is one of these. Ethereum is for contracts. I think I'm spelling this wrong. Ethereum is a blockchain for contracts. Ether is the coin. Ether can be bought and sold outside of this. But when people validate the contract at its different parts, at its different points, they get Ether. They're mining Ether by validating. And the point is to take it outside of the need to work with government entities. You are doing direct business. It takes out the taxation. It takes out all of that. And it can be for bad. It can be for good. But this really is the future. We need to talk more about this. I need your comments. Let me know if this is interesting to you. Also, let me know what I got wrong. Comment on the YouTube video. Also, come to Facebook, RJK English, and have a further discussion. And make sure to put, Geese, be interviewed so that you can explain this. And we can get deeper into how this all works. Why it is so important. Okay, I hope this was helpful. I will talk to you later. Make sure to hit the bell icon and subscribe and hit like. And make sure to comment and communicate with us. All right, see you next time.